First of all, we'll create the IP address for these devices. Just start the devices. We'll create for these two VPCs. Double click. Then the command is IP and then put the IP address. So the IP address will be 10.10.10.2/24. The gateway is going to be we'll use the top Palo Alto for time being. So 10.10.10.254. Okay, checking. Okay, VPCs. The headers has been set up as 10.10.2 and the gateway is 254. Now we need a DNS IP DNS dot 8.8.8 and then save. That's it. We type IP config. You'll be show IP, so you can see all the IP addresses on the list. Similarly, set up the IP for the other one. This time its IP is going to be 10.10.10.3/24 255. Sorry, the gateway is 10.10.10.254. The same gateway. IP DNS 8.8.8.8. Show IP, so you can see IP address, gateways, and the DNS address. So that's it, and then configure IP on this device. So we started yet. The default password of this one is test123. Yep, that's it. Log into the PC and we'll change the IP address. So we can click on top of this icon for the connectivity, internet connectivity, and then local area connection. Get properties and IP version 4 properties again, and then this is the IP. I think I did the IP. So put the IP on the first line IP address, subnet mask, and the default gateway, preferred DNS. That's it. Close. Now we don't have any connectivity is initiated, so just the configuration bit we have completed. Once we configure the interface on this side and bring that device up, and we'll be able to we'll be having the reachability. So the next step, bring this device up, start the device. We don't actually need to configure anything on the device, so we are going to keep this as a layer 1 device, just a switch. We'll be having layer 2 or layer 3 switch on later on our sessions, and we will configure VLANs and navigate the traffic. But for time being, I'm not configuring anything on this device. We're going to use this as a gateway. So I just turned on this Palo Alto firewall. Usually it takes like 10 to 15 minutes to come up completely. So I'm just turned on, and notice here it is saying PA-HDF login. So it means you won't be able to log in at this point. You have to wait until it become PA-VM login. And the default username and the password for this stimulation is admin. So I'll post this video. Once I got the access, I will log into this device. I'll show you how to log into the device as well as how to log in through GUI. Okay. Yeah, we just waited for more than 15-20 minutes. So in this instance, it didn't change to PA-VM. So after waiting for some times, I applied admin, and then it asked me to put the old password, which is admin, and then I put a new password and confirm the new password. Now I have changed the password and log into the device. So either you can wait till it changes. So in this copy of image, it didn't change. So I was waiting for up to 20 minutes and then applied it, and I got the access. I was trying to log in before that, but it didn't work. So I was just waiting. Okay, let's log into the device. Through the GUI. So this IP address of this device, if you go show system info, so you'll be able to see the IP address of this device. Okay, there's no IP has been allocated for this device yet. So why is it? To have the management access, there's no. So I'm going to check why is it, because the management interface is not connected. So unfortunately, I can't connect this management because this is a community edition. I can try, but I don't think it will work. Um, yeah, I'll show you. So see, the interface is not coming up and it's showing in red. So I have to stop the Palo Alto again to connect the management interface. I stopped it, refreshed it, so it's gone. Now if you go and drag this one and connect to the Palo Alto, so it is going to be on management interface. Choose interface for Palo Alto management. So it's MGMT now. So if you don't connect it to management interface, and this is actually, if you go to edit, this is a management cloud. So we can change this name into management. So, so this is actually management cloud. Otherwise, you won't get the IP address through the DNS, and this management cloud is connected to Evench. If you want, I can show you that one as well. So Evench. So if you want to see that, edit virtual network editors. So this is where this NAT IP is obtaining from 192.168.115 subnet. So the management interface is it's belong to NAT. So the management interface is the one that need to be configured to obtain the IP through the NAT. Okay, I connected to the management interface. Now I'm starting the Palo Alto device. I need to wait again, but I don't think it will take a long time this time. So the device is loading up. Usually it takes 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. Let me try so you can see that in this video clip. How is it loading and how long it takes. So yeah, now we have the prompt. I'm gonna apply admin. Say it is not, now it's showing PAVM logging, but still I don't have the access to it. So still it is loading on the background. So let's wait. I'll pause this video. Let's wait till it uh, it is ready. So once we have the access to the okay, now it's just DHCP provided an IP address, which is 192.168.115.141. So password is admin incorrect. So I set up a password for this before, so which is admin, and my password is 123 at mhm, no, incorrect. Let me try main. No, maybe. So still I have to wait. So let me try the GUI access. This was 141, isn't it? Okay. So to see if it is ready. Yep, we have the GUI access now. Um, Proceed. So it takes a while to have the complete access to this Palo Alto. So let's wait till we get the complete access. I think it's still loading at the back. So it is not 100% ready yet. So let me post this video and I'll come back to it once it's started. Yeah, looks I got the access to it. Let me try the username and the password again. Because I changed it, but seems it has not been changed. Yeah, it's asking me my old password, which is admin, and the new password. You can have your new password. I'm going to put a new password. Yeah, now I have the. But I'm getting a message call warning. Your device is still configured with the default admin account credentials. Please change your password prior to deployment. Okay, we will change the password in GUI later. So can we see whether the admin is working here. Password change is required. Okay, old password is admin. New password, you can have whatever the password you like to have. Okay, change password. Yeah, log in. Now I'm gonna log in with my new password. There we go. We have the GUI access to the Palo Alto now. So we have the CLI access. So CLI access, you don't actually have to log into. You have to keep this window open, but you don't actually have to um, maneuver through this Kimu Palo Alto software. You can use your super putty. So what you do is just put your IP address here, 115 and 141. Okay, so you will have the putty access here and the username. But your password is the, the one that we change. Enter. So show system info. Now we have an IP address. Default gateway is .2. IP address is .41, and the mask is. And then we have all the other information about the device. Okay. Now we have both CLI and as well as the GUI access to this Palo Alto. So the next step is we need to um, create the DNS server. So for that, you go to device and device setup and services. Here, click this gear icon. So there is no DNS service being set up on this. So we just click this gear icon and the primary DNS server. I'm going to put 8.8.8.8. If you want, you can have secondary DNS as well, the Google DNS 4.4, and keep this FQDN refresh time as 30 and FQDN state entry timeout as it is, then press OK. So now we have primary and secondary DNS, and also we'll create the NTP server for the time. So for that, what we do, we just take the default NTP servers standard. So NTP server, so say UK ukpool.org. So you can use this in NTP server, ukpool.ntp.org. So now you have the NTP service as well. So the second step, you want to configure this IP into static IP, the management IP. You can configure it. Go to device and then management. Then you can interface. So the management interface is there. So if you want to have this statics, you can change it to static, and then you can make the static IP configuration, or you can use GUI to make the configuration changes through the GUI. It's up to you. I'm going to leave it as DHCP client for time being, so we don't have to waste time on creating static and dynamic. If any of you wanted to know how to change this on GUI or CLI, please leave a comment below so I can put that commands on the description. Share the commands with you, or you can just simply Google it. You can find it. The next step is the basic requirements to create first basic requirements. These are the basic requirements that we need to have in order to create firewall policies. So first of all, we need to define the firewall zones. And the second step is to configure the firewall interfaces. The third step is configure routing to route the traffic between zones. And the fourth step is define NAT policy. Fifth step is define the security policy, permit or deny. So we are going to do this step by step on this section. So first we will go define the firewall zone. For that, you need to go to network. So these are the interfaces. Under the interface, you will see zones. To create a zone, you just click add, and you can have any name. So I'm going to say trust, T-R-U-S-T, trust. So I'm going to have the interface type. It's layer 3. We will learn about this, the rest of these interface types on following tutorials. So I'm not going to add any interfaces for now. Uh, so I'm going to press OK. That's all we need. So create a trust zone. I'm going to create an untrust zone as well. Untrust. And the interface type is layer 3. Okay, that's all we need. We don't need anything else at the moment. If you want to have any changes on these, we can come back to it and make the changes accordingly. So the next one is configure the firewall interfaces. So we are going to configure the interfaces. So go to interfaces. So according to the topology, interface 1/1 is connected to the trust zone. So 1/1, go to this interface. 1/1 tab, no tabs, level 3, and you're not going to have a virtual router. The trust is going to be falling under the trust zone. So you can select the zone from here, security zone, trust. Virtual routers, we haven't created any routings yet, so just leave it as it is. So the next step is to have the IP address. So we know like this IP address is on 10 network dot 254. So just put 10.10.10.254 slash 24. That's it. And rest of them we can leave it as it is. We will check all these on our following tutorials, or if we have any other advanced tutorials. So here we are just following the basic settings to bring up the device. That's it. Just press OK and go back to the topology, and you can see 1/2 is connected to this side of the interface, and that IP we just need to provide any IP from this range. So 1/2 I'm gonna give the gateway is .2, so we can use .3 on this side. So how do you know the gateway is .2? We already checked it through the GUI. The gateway is .2, 192.151, and this is the management IP of the device. So it is /24. You can use any IP address in between. So for our convenience, we're going to start it because we're going to start it from .3. Go to this interfaces. This is 1/2. Go to this interface, and this is not a tab. This is L3, and then what zone is it's Untrust zone, because this is falling under this side, Untrust. So Untrust and layer 3, that's it, and the IP address. So address will be 192.168.115.3/24. Okay, that should be fine. And rest of them we are not making any changes to SD-WAN or advanced settings. That's it for now, and press OK. So we completed the second step, which is configuring the firewall interfaces. The third step is configure routing to route the traffic between zones. So to do that, um, yeah, before we go to the routing, I just want to show you one thing. Um, this management profiles. So if you want to access this device through one of these PCs, you should enable HTTP or HTTPS access on this interface. Otherwise, you won't be able to access it. We are now accessing through the management because we enable HTTP and HTTPS on this, either one of these. So we can access it through the GUI. So if you want to have the access to one of these devices, or if you want to provide the access to one of these user, so you need to enable the HTTP access on this one. Also, you can give them the static IP as well. For to do that, you just need to go to Advanced and Management Profile. From here, you can choose the management. We don't have any management profile as such, so I'm going to create a profile where you can say can HTTP and you can ping. So usually we don't give the access HTTP access to the users, but in this I just want to show you like how to access these devices through the gateways. Okay, so we'll have this one. Um, we have a name MGMT Trust. Okay, that's enough for now. Also, we can add the IP address through um, by adding this to permitted IP address to give the access to the individual users. We can see that if you want. You can test that later on. I don't want to waste time on that one. So, okay. Um, and okay. Firewall administrative interfaces. So we are potentially exposing the firewall's administrative interface to any party that can reach this interface. Yes, we're going to make this change. For the Untrust side of the interface, we'll do the same, but we're not going to give the access, GUI access to that interface. So in that, under the management, we'll create a profile, not this one, we'll get a new profile. We call it um, ping only. Okay, we can only ping. It's okay. Just to check the reachability. That's enough for that interface. And also, I want to show you on this link settings. So we can change these link settings. You can bring this on down, up, and you can put it on auto duplex settings. So we can change all these settings from here. Okay, so we change the management ping only. Then okay, I can change. The name has changed now. Okay, now we will go to the routing part. For that, go to network, and then from there, go virtual routers. By default, there is a route. You click that route. So to so we can edit, amend uh, the same uh, default option. So under the static route, first of all, there is no interface being included, so we need to include the interface one, and so these are the two interfaces going to be involving. Okay, and the next step is to create a static route. So since we have a like small topologies between this network and this network, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a default route. We're going only using this firewall. So I'm going to create a default firewall from this network to this network to have the reachability. To do that, just press add and have a name, default, and sorry, default, and the destination IP is 0/0. It's a default route, right? So I'm going to have the default route and the interface. What is the exit interface? 1/2, isn't it? So I'm going to have 1/2 and the next hop IP address. So the IP address of this interface, which we have already seen through the GUI, the gateway was .2. So we're going to have that IP address of that gateway to have the reachability to the internet. .2. Yeah, that's all we need. We just created a default route. Just press OK. So now we have a default route to the network. We will learn about redistributions. RIP, we don't actually use this. Uh, uh, we will go through OSPF and BGP and multicast on future tutorials. Okay, so the static route has been created, but even though we have created it, but the thing is, we will not be able to reach any of this device. If you go and ping the device, say, if you ping Google DNS or internet, you don't get any response because not reachable. Because you understand why? We have a route, we have created the interface, everything is connected, we have created a route from this network to this network, but still we are the internet is not reachable because we haven't completed all these 5 steps. So the next step is to create a NAT policy. Yeah, and before we do the define the NAT policy, we will check the accessibility from one of these devices. Sorry, I've already opened it here. So if you go to this browser, you remember we enabled the management access to this subnet, to this interface. So I'm going to test it, whether we can access it through the Windows PC. So here we just put HTTP //192.168.115.254. No. So from here we should be able to access. See if we can ping the device. Ping 192.160. Oh, sorry. It is 10.10.10.254. Isn't it? Okay. Destination host is unreachable. Yeah, because I need to change the SIP address. I did not assign the correct IP address on this device. I need to change this to 10. So 10 10 10 and 4. Okay, slash 24. Again, the gateway address is 10 10 to 54. And you can get the secondary DNS as well. 8.8.4.4. Okay, now we should be able to connect it. So it's just trying to connect it, identifying. See whether we can connect this device. Unreachable. Okay, so the reason because we have configured the IP address on the Palo Alto device, but once completed, we have to commit the change. So let's commit the change, and we'll try the access, see the accessibility to the devices, and then we'll continue the zone configurations. Sorry, net configurations after we tested it. So I'm going to pause it until it's completed. Okay, it's 55 now. It won't take long, but maybe 1 or 2 minutes. 70%, 75. Yep, almost completed. Yeah, successfully. Uh, Configurations committed successfully. Okay, now if you go and check HTTP 10.10.10.254, we should, yeah, the Palo Alto is opening from GUI. So this is how we open it. Give the access to GUI. So we committed up to the third steps, which is configuring routing to route the traffic between zones. So now we are going to do the define NAT policy. To do that NAT policy, we go to policies and we go to NAT, the second option, NAT. Click add, and where we are going to NAT from inside trust zone to untrust zone. So we can put trust to untrust. Okay, and you don't have to tag. You can. There are like multiple options are there. We're going to choose IP version 4. We're not going to make any changes, and we're going to have the original packet. Where is it coming from? It is from zone, and destination. It's untrust zone. Or you can leave it any to give the access to any, or we can destination. We have the interface. You can give the interface ID to interface specific net. Source addresses, we are not going to make changes. If you want, you can have source addresses. You can change these addresses. So you can have specific addresses. You can create addresses, or you can add address groups. So I'm going to use any for this translation and go to translated packets, source address translations. Here I'm going to choose dynamic IP and port. You can choose any options. According to that, you have to make the changes. And here, translated address, I'm not going to use translated address option here. I'm going to use interface address because I know the interface, which is 1/2, and the IP address should come up. The one which we configured on that interface, it will come up once you select the interface. That's it. Just press OK. So we have created a net policy from trust network to untrusted zone. So the next step is the final step is to define the security policy. Still, if we have deployed it and we have committed it, and still, if you check, we don't have the connectivity to the internet. We have the connectivity to the gateway. As we checked the connectivity on this interface, sorry, here it was unreachable, but if you see now, it is reachable from checking from this Windows PC. If you check from here, also same, we have the reachability to the gateway. But the thing is, we don't have the reachability to the internet. So Control Z. If you, yeah, we just checked it. It don't have the reachability. So once we created the security policy to allow the traffic from trust zone to untrust zone, only then we will be having the reachability to the internet. Either we can give the access to one of the users or a particular subnet, or we can give the users. So in this initial tutorial, I'm not going to segregate those traffic. I'm going to give the access, create a rule from trust network zone to untrusted network to have the reachability to the internet. So any users from this end can reach the internet. That is the final step that we are going to do. For that, we are going to the security policies. Under the policies, security. So once you click the security, you will see two default policies. One is intrazone and one is interzone. Intrazone is within one zone, and in interzone between two zone. Inter. So the interzone traffic, so between two zone traffic's been denied, and interzone within a zone, the traffic is allowed. So we can't make any changes to these policies, but what we can do, if you want to make changes to this one, we can override the action. Again, with the allow, deny, or drop, we can make these changes, but we will not be able to use these policies because by default, the Palo Alto has these policies. We need to have these policies by default. So once we created the policies, so these policies will go down. Well, this one will stay at the bottom to check um, uh, as a last step. But we can override to make these changes, deny or allow. Okay, now we are going to create a security policy. So go to policies and security policies. So let's wait till, okay. Now go to add, and we are going to have a name for the policy. creating from trust underscore, we will put trust underscore untrust. Okay, we already use similar name, so I'm going to use policy P. Rule type is going to be universal, so you can have any type of rule. So I'm going to have it depends on the policy that you are using. You can use interzone, universal, or intrazone. So I'm going to keep this as universal here. And the next one, source address, zone. Select the zone is trust zone, and I'm not going to make any changes because since we are creating a basic rule, not going to make any changes. Or we can have a specific source and specific users. You can add them to give the access through a policy. We will learn this one in late stages, but as an initial policy, I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm going to allow any traffic to any destinations, but I'm going to choose the zone. Zone is untrust zones, and application, we can choose applications here. Um, but we are not going to do any applications specific policy by now, but we will do that in later. So some of the applications are depending on those. We will learn that later, depending on some other applications. So we will learn all those things later on. And then we go to action is the most important tab. We're not going to use any services either. So whether to allow or deny. We'll learn about these drops and all the other options, features in future tutorials. Allow, and then okay. So we have created a simple policy which we are allowing traffic to from trust to untrust. Okay, application is default. That's it. Go there. Okay, very simple policy. Okay, now we have completed all 5 steps. Now we need to commit the changes. We have committed in between, but we have to commit again to have these policies on this firewall. It'll take between 1 to 3 minutes. I'm going to pause this video for a while and then I'll come back to it once it's completed and we will test that. So it's successfully committed. So to test that, let's see, we have the reachability to the internet through one of these tab. We just say Google. Yep, we can go Google, say from here Yahoo. Okay, so we have the access to this internet, to this PC. We can check from the other devices as well. We'll ping from 8.8.8.8. Yes, we have the access to the internet from this subnet. So this is 8.8.8.8. So we have successfully enabled the firewall and created the first policy on the firewall. So always remember, these are the important steps that we need. Initially, configure a firewall. Define the firewall zone. Configure the firewall interfaces. Configure routing to route the traffic between zones. And define NAT policy. And then define the security policy to allow the traffic or deny the traffic. Yep, we will continue the rest of the tutorial. I'm going to complete this tutorial by now. Thank you.